From the gospel that we just heard just a few seconds ago for this Sunday, we continue to reflect and hear on the post-resurrection accounts or encounters of Jesus with his disciples. If you look at the Gospels, especially during the Easter season, in most of these encounters of Jesus with his disciples, if not all, including this one we just heard, Jesus was not easily recognized by his disciples. They had a hard time knowing and sensing that it was the Lord in their midst. This is something that really intrigues me. After being with Jesus for 3 years, day and night, after accompanying Jesus to all his missionary works and healing ministry, one would expect that the disciples will recognize him easily because the resurrected Christ is the same Jesus that was with them before the resurrection, except that he has no longer the bodily limitations. The same thing happened with Mary Magdalene when Christ first appeared to her. She was not able to recognize the Lord in an instant. Recognition and non-recognition is a very powerful theme in the Gospels during Easter. To be recognized is a basic human longing or need. Imagine yourself entering into a room or in a party and nobody smiled or even recognized your presence. It must have been a horrible feeling. Or how does a son or a daughter feel when he or she is begging to be recognized, to be loved, to be cared for, and to be understood by his or her mother or father? Or what would a wife feel when a husband just neglect her and brush her off as if she does not exist at home? Or how does an elderly parent who spent most of his or her time alone in a nursing facility and does not hear anything from their children for months or even sometimes years? To be recognized and to be connected is a basic human need. Even Christ, who does not need anything outside himself because he is God, needed to be recognized by his disciples. God, in the midst of his self-sufficiency and might, needs our attention too. He needs to be recognized by us, to enter into a profound relationship with him. And this recognition that God demands from us cannot just be sustained or satisfied by purely resorting to external manifestations of faith, or purely by confining ourselves to rituals and pieties. Inasmuch as we can find and recognize God through the beautiful and solemn wrappings of the liturgy, yes, God is here right now in our midst in a very, very special way, in a very powerful way through the Eucharist. There is also a challenge for us to see him in the faces of one another, in the person next to you, in the person whom we might not be comfortable relating with, in the person who might have a different religious conviction from ours. He is also in the countless men and women who are struggling and who are fighting for justice, in those who are suffering from sickness, and in those who are struggling to find meaning in life. Just as what Jesus himself said, "Whatever you do to the least of my brothers and sisters, you do it to me." If we can find peace, tranquility, comfort, and the nearness to God in the church, we must also be able to find and make it happen in the way we relate to one another, in the way we lead our lives, in the way we build up our families, and in the way we conduct ourselves at work and at the community. The liturgy, this Mass, this Eucharist does not stop here. We come here as one community of faith, knowing that we will bring with us the graces and blessings of the Eucharist to make a difference in our lives and in the lives of others. That is why every Mass is not the same. It is not Mass as usual, because every liturgy brings new life, new hope, new beginning to each and every one of us. In the Gospel, we heard Jesus asking Peter several times, or to be exact, 3 times, "Simon Peter, do you love me?" And Peter replied, "Yes, Lord, I love you." Despite the betrayal, the denial, and the unfaithfulness of Peter, Jesus did not ask, "Peter, are you going to betray me again next time? Are you going to leave me behind again next time?" Jesus did not dwell on the weakness and the betrayal of Peter. The question of Jesus to Peter was for him, or for Peter, to realize what he is capable of, that he is capable of loving and of feeding the flock, of leading others to Christ despite his frailty and weakness. Jesus gave Peter a second chance, a new opportunity to reform his life, to make it right again with God, to make it right again with Jesus. Same question is being asked of God to each one of us, despite of what we have done, despite of our sinful past. John, Mike, Pam, Father, do you love me more than this? Just like with Peter, when Christ asks us that question, he is not looking at our past, at our sinfulness, but on what we are capable for. Because Christ knows who we are more than we know ourselves. We are capable of something bigger, just like he saw it in Peter. We are capable, or we have the capacity to love, our capacity to forgive, and our capacity to be life-giving to others. The hope is that we will be able to respond with Peter, "Yes, Lord, you know that I love you."